Should look like that. Okay. Zoom. All right, so either print that or have that up. I'm going to switch over. Give me just a second. All right, 1 second. If you want, you can go ahead and start this. If you feel like you can do that, I'm going to join in with you in just a second because I want to actually put this sheet on my whiteboard. So I'm copying all of that now. Okay. All right, I'm going to start with comparing decimals because comparing decimals is a lot easier and faster than comparing fractions. So your sheet looks like this. And so we'll start with number 1, and they want us to fill in whether it is greater than, less than, or equal to. Okay, so we need to take on the first one, if you want to line up the decimal places, you can. If you want to write them again, I like to just look. So if we zoom in here a little bit. It's not going to let me do that. All right, so we have our decimal point. We look to the left, we have a 1, and we also have a 1. So those are the same. We then move to the left of the decimal point, and we have a 4, and we have a 5. The 4 is smaller than the 5. We don't need to look any further, and we know that that's 1.43 is less than 1.5. Right? On number 2, we have an 8 on the left of the decimal point, and here we have a 0 on the left of the decimal point. 8 is definitely bigger than 0. All right, on number 3, decimal, a 0 in front of the decimal point, same on this side. Then we have our decimal point, then we have a 3, and then we have a 0. 3 is bigger. For number 4, we have a 9 on the left side of the decimal point, and on this one we have a 0. No need to look at any further. 9 is bigger than 0. For number 5, we have a 3, and we have a 7. Those are the same, but now we have a 6 and a 1, so the 6 is bigger, so we put a greater than sign. For number 6, we have a 9 on the left and a 0 on the left on this side. Greater than again. For number 7, 6 is the same, 4 is the same, then we have a 1 and a 2. The 2 is bigger, so we put a less than sign. I don't know if you remember from elementary school or not, but you probably were taught that you think of the less than greater than sign as being an alligator, and the mouth opens to the bigger number because the alligator is hungry. Okay, so the alligator mouth always opens to the bigger number, if that helps you remember. All right, on number 8, look at number 8. You tell me, should I have a less than sign or a greater than sign? And you know, on your keyboard down there at the bottom next to your M, you can do a shift and do a less than, and right next to it is the greater than. Or you can tell me which one's bigger. Okay, I'm asking which one is bigger, or do we put a greater than or less than sign? And it's only 3 of you. Which one's bigger? Hello out there. Waiting for some more answers. All right, y'all are correct. The 2.6 is bigger. When we look at the 2, we have the same. We have a 6 and a 5, so the 6 is bigger. Okay. Then on number 11, we have 4 and 4, 8 and 8. But now here we ran out of decimal place values. So which one's bigger? We ran out of place value. So which one's bigger? Okay, which one is bigger? The 4.83 or the 4.8? Which one's bigger? Which one's bigger? 4.8 or 4.83? Waiting on answers. We're on number 11. Which one's bigger, 4.83 or 4.8? All right, I'm going to go right back and drop you out of class again. I'm waiting for some answers. 4.83 or 4.8? 4.83 or 4.8? Which one's bigger? Okay, if we run out of decimal places, then we need to add a decimal place. So I can add a 0 to the end of that number and it doesn't change the value of the number. Excuse me, you can always add zeros at the end of a decimal number and it doesn't change the value. So now I have a 0 and I have a 3. The 4.83 is bigger. The 4.83 is bigger because the other is 4.80. So you may have to add additional decimal places to be able to determine which one is bigger. On number 12, which one is bigger? On number 12, which one is the larger number? Okay, larger number. Of those two, which one is the larger number? Of those two, which one is the larger number? So you have to start at that decimal point. Okay, we have to start at the decimal point and start on the left side first. So I have a 5 and a 0. It doesn't matter now what's after the decimal place. 5 is bigger than 0, so we put a greater than sign. Okay. Number 13, which one's bigger, 5.67 or 5.62? Which one's bigger? Which one's bigger? .67 or 5.62? .67 or 5.62? 5.2. Which one's bigger? .67 or 5.62? Which one's bigger? 5.67 or 5.62? Which one's bigger? Okay. If we look to the left of the decimal point, we have a 5 and a 5. Those are the same. So now we have to move to the other side of the decimal point, and we have a 6 and a 6. Those are the same. Then the second decimal place, we have a 7 and a 2. The 7 is bigger, so we need a greater than sign. 5.67 is bigger than 5.62. I want you to look at the rest of those problems, and I want you to let me know if you see any of those that are equal. Look at the rest of the problems and let me know if you see any that are equal. Any of those that are equal. Okay, that's right. Some are close. Some are very, very, very close. Like this one, those are very close. But that's a 5.20. Let's see, another one that's close right there. That one's close, but that's a 9.10 and 9.11. Then there's some that are there to throw you off, like this one, where the digits are the same digits, but the decimal place is in a different spot. So that's there to throw you off. This one's close. It only comes down to that second decimal place. This one's kind of close. Comes down to the third decimal place. So you're right, none are equal. None of those are equal. Okay, now we're going to switch to comparing fractions. It's a little bit different. But if you use the trick, so I want you to open that up. And I'm going to do the same thing quick. And all right, so get that out and ready. Either print that or I'm going to have it up on the screen because I'm going to make a screenshot of it. All right. Now for this one, we saw on that Math Antics video that there is a shortcut. But I want you to see that really you're not doing a shortcut. You're really doing the same thing that he did. Um, the first thing you want to look at is, do we have the same denominator? If we do, then we just look at the numerators. Okay, so for number one, we have fourths and fourths. So I don't need to worry about butterfly method or common denominator. I already have a denominator. So 3/4 is bigger than 1/4. 3/4 is bigger than 1/4 because we've got the same denominator. All right. But now if we move down the page, we have 2/6 and 2/3. Here we don't have the same denominator. So when the denominators are not the same, we have to have a common denominator. There's no other way around it. You might say, well, Mr. B, he didn't find a common denominator. Oh, yes, he did. So if we have 2/6 and 2/3, he showed you the butterfly method where we do 2 times 3 and get 6, and 6 times 2 and get 12. So you say, okay, oh, he didn't find a common denominator. Yeah, he did. He found a common denominator of 6, and he kept that one the same. It's not going to look like it in this problem, but I'll show you another one where it will definitely look like it. But to change this into 6, you'd have to multiply by 2. So here you'd have to multiply by 2, and you get 4. Up here, 6 is smaller than 12, so we know that we're going to put a less than sign there. But look here, when the denominators are the same, 4/6 is bigger than 2/6. All right. On the next one down, if we're going to do the butterfly method, then we have 4 times 25, which is 100, and we have 5 times 22, which is 110. 110 is bigger, so inside of there we should have a less than sign. Going down the page again. Some of these numbers may get big, so you can have a calculator out. That'll be fine. So we're going to multiply 7 times 15, and we get 105. That's 7 times 15. And then 21 times 4 is 84. So this is bigger. 21 over 35, I'm going to multiply 40 times 21. 40 times 21 gives me, 40 times 21 is 840. And 35 times 16 gives me 560. 840 is bigger. So 21 over 35 is bigger than 16 over 40. Let's move down the page. Here's where it's going to be a lot evident that what we're doing is we're still finding a common denominator. If we do the butterfly method, 2/5 and 4/7, 7 times 2 is 14, 5 times 4 is 20. So we know 4/7 is bigger because 14 is smaller than 20. But let's do it by finding a common denominator. The common denominator would be 35. Well, what do we multiply 5 by to get 35? We multiply by 7, which is what's over here. If you multiply the bottom, you have to multiply the top. We get 14. Look at there. Here, 7 to turn into 35, we would multiply by 5. Here's a 5. You'd have to multiply the 4 by 5 and get 20. You're still finding a common denominator, whether you realize it or not. You're finding a common denominator. This method is just a little bit quicker because we're not having to multiply the top and bottom to try to get two fractions that are the same. We're literally taking 5 and multiplying it by the other number and taking the top and multiplying it by that same other number to get our 14. So in this case, 2/5 is less than 4/7. Okay. Then on the next one, 9/13 and 5/8. Which one of those is bigger? Which one of those is bigger? All right, we got one vote for 9/13. One vote for 9/13. Okay, so when we multiply 9 times 8, we get 72. And when we multiply 13 times 5, we get 65. 72 is bigger, so 9/13 is larger. Up to here, the next column, this one's easy. We got 5/7 and 6/7. 6/7 is bigger. 6/7 is bigger because the denominators are already the same. If you look next door to this one, 2/10 and 8/10. 8/10 is bigger. 8/10 is bigger. Let's look at 1/2 and 5/8. 1/2 and 5/8. Which one's bigger? 1/2 or 5/8? 1/2 or 5/8? Which one's bigger? 1/2 or 5/8? Which one's bigger? 1/2 or 5/8? 1/2 or 5/8? We're looking at which one is bigger, 1/2 or 5/8? That's 3 people answered. Okay, correct. 5/8 is bigger because we do our butterfly method. 8 times 1 gives us 8. 2 times 5 gives us 10. So 5/8 is bigger. Let's do one more. I want you to do the next one. 5/6 or 33 over 42. 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 So we got some 5/6. We also have 33 over 42. What are y'all getting? What do we get when we multiply 5 times 42? If we're doing the cross multiply butterfly method, what do we get when we multiply 5 times 42? 5 times 42. 5 times 42. 5 times 42. Okay. When we multiply 5 times 42, we get 210. What do we get when we multiply 6 times 33? 6 times 33. 6 times 33. Six times 33. All right, some of y'all must have walked away. I'm not getting any answers. I'm going to start dropping some of you. 6 times 33. Okay, correct. It's 198. And so 210 is bigger. So 5/6 is bigger than 33/42.
If you liked this video, please click on the thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like this, please click on the subscribe button. And if you want to be notified when new videos are posted, please click the bell.